Today, I woke up in a historic playground where fun dates back to the 16th century. Things are pretty old school here. We get our thrills in a giant sandbox and spend all day playing in the water. This is a place where time stands absolutely still, but we can never seem to. Today, I woke up at the edge of the world. Tiny houses stand untouched by the present. Rolling hills drop off to who knows. Customs are a little different here. Every corner stands another wonder, our own little world away from it all.
I woke up inside an artist's dream, where the paintings dance with every brushstroke, and works of art span from floor to ceiling. I witnessed masters at their craft, who transform even the ordinary into exceptional. Confections came in more colors than I could imagine, and a creative escape waited around every corner.
I just woke up from the time of my life. It started with a major throwback. Then I got to meet the big shots. I found a sweet spot between cultures. After that, things kicked into overdrive. It started with a whirlwind through the streets. And an epic youth party at every turn. The best thing about it here, the good times are never over.
I woke up while nature was sound asleep, so I could marvel at its kingdom. Here, you can dance with giants, discover a feast for the appetite. I roamed places that stood the test of time, and others that were there since the beginning.
Once I woke up in a hidden place. Paradise unlike anything I had ever seen. I walked beaches few had ever walked before, while the waves whispered their secrets. And even though I couldn't stay forever, the story of the islands never leaves me.
I just woke up in a non-stop action scene where we're always at the edge of our seats, defying gravity one moment to communing with giants and getting lost in the lights the next. After feeling the heat, and I mean really feeling the heat, we finally regained our balance and found our epic finale.
Every day, I wake up to a feast where I can sink my teeth into history or shock my taste buds with something new. It's here I learned the color of sweetness, expanded my pantry and my appetite. Every next bite only leaves you hungry for more.
Today, I woke up below the surface, where I learned to face my fears and go with the flow. But it's when I came to appreciate the big and the small, made new friends from all over, and could no longer hide my true colors, that I knew I'd emerged a local.
I woke up to worlds unknown, where water is stronger than rock. So I learned to sit back and enjoy the ride. Get washed up on a deserted island, explore the locals' living history. Perhaps even find a hole in the wall. Or discover a whole new world to be on top of.
Today I woke up inside a kaleidoscope, surrounded by mesmerizing patterns and vibrant shades. Golden colors you can practically taste. An endless stretch of powdery pink sand. Rainbow vessels riding gentle waves. A technicolor dream just bursting at the seams. But no fail, always a lot of fun.
Today, I woke up on a wild ride. It takes me to some pretty unexpected drops. I screamed at the top of my lungs. Just when I thought it was over, there was another thrill waiting around the corner. It's always an adventure.
Oh, tiga-tiga.
Every day I wake up in a sea of green. A place where everything grows. Even dreams that weave themselves into our style and art. The people here are connected to the land, and everywhere you look, it shows.
I wake up with a postcard every single day. Each corner a love letter straight from Cloud9. Everywhere's an invitation to come over. But it's the warmth I find nowhere else that makes me stay.
Clearer seas, brighter skies, and new travel experiences. We know you've missed this. So to help you imagine and create new getaways in our wondrous islands, we give you Travel Philippines, your official guide to safe and fun travel in the Philippines. Get official travel advisories and safety guidelines for a worry-free trip to the most travel-worthy destinations in the country. And rediscover a whole new Philippines featuring the best things to do, dishes to eat, and places to stay for a safe and comfortable holiday. Log in to create a profile and simply tap to save activities, tips, and articles to help you plan your trip. Securely upload important travel documents for easy, contact-free access. There's a whole new Philippines waiting to be discovered, and a whole new way to plan your safe, fun, and memorable getaway. Travel Philippines, your guide to safe and fun Philippine travel. Try it today. Visit app.philippines.travel. See you around the Philippines.
Today, I woke up below the surface, where I learned to face my fears and go with the flow. But it's when I came to appreciate the big and the small. Made new friends from all over, and could no longer hide my true colors, that I knew I'd emerged a local.
Makalibay, no?
Today, I woke up below the surface.
afternoon, everyone. So, welcome to the opening ceremonies for this conference. Our host and moderator is a full-time faculty member at the School of Library and Information Studies, University of the Philippines, Diliman. She graduated with a Bachelor of Library and Information Science, BLIS, cum laude in 2000, and Master of Technology Management in 2009, also from the same university. She is currently pursuing her PhD in Information Management at the University Technology Mara, UITM in Malaysia. As an educator for almost 12 years, she has taught both graduate and undergraduate students and has also advised and directed students in their research papers. She is an active member and past officer of different library organizations in the Philippines, such as the Philippine Librarians Association Incorporated, or PLI, the Philippine Association of Teachers, and Library and Information Science Incorporated, PATELS, and the University of the Philippines Library Science Alumni Association, or UPLSAA, among others. She has published articles, given numerous presentations, conducted and facilitated conferences, seminars, workshops in various topics in library and information science, both locally and abroad. She was also a consultant of the International Network of Emerging Library Innovators in the ASEAN region, ENELI ASEAN project, a 3-year project by the National Library of the Philippines and funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. This aim to create a regional network of emerging public library leaders to foster collaboration and strengthen capacity and partnerships among stakeholders in Southeast Asia. Prior to being a faculty member, she was the head librarian of the Learning Resource Center of the Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization, Regional Center for Educational Innovation and Technology, or CIMEO Inotech, at Quezon City, Philippines. CIMEO and Inotech is an international organization that provides training and research services to the educators of Southeast Asia and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Rhea Rowena U. Apolinario.
Thank you so much. Good day to all of you. This is the first ASEAN Virtual Regional Conference of Public Librarians with the theme ASEAN Libraries, Arts and Culture, Inspire, Innovate, and Collaborate, brought to you by the National Library of the Philippines with the ASEAN Public Libraries Information Network as co-host, and in collaboration with the Philippine Librarians Association Incorporated, Librarians Association of Malaysia, and the Asia Foundation. This event is sponsored by the National Commission for the Culture and Arts, National Committee on Library and Information Services, and the Tourism and Promotions Board. Welcome to all our 1,000 plus participants in the Philippines and across the globe. There are over almost 4,000 people watching us via Facebook Live. And like I said, we are also live via the official Facebook page of the ASEAN VRCPL, Philippine Public Libraries, and the National Library of the Philippines YouTube channels. I am Rhea Rowena U. Apolinario, a faculty member at the University of the Philippines School of Library and Information Studies, your host and moderator for today. Before we begin, may I request all our participants to please mute your microphones so as not to disturb the whole program. Please also change your name in Zoom for proper identification using the first name, last name, dash country format. For example, Rhea Apolinario dash PH. Okay, thank you. Again, this is the first ASEAN Virtual Regional Conference. The main purpose of this event is to provide a venue for learning and appreciation of the ASEAN libraries, arts and culture, Okay. All right. Showcase libraries in ASEAN for deeper appreciation of our work and our profession. Develop partnerships and collaborations with the leading international library organizations to be updated with their advocacies, the librarianship trends, including the available library opportunities worldwide. Integrate the understanding among ASEAN librarians to their respective libraries' vision, mission, objectives, programs, and activities. Cultivate a sense of community among public librarians in the ASEAN region, and publish the collective information transpired in the virtual conference and make it readily accessible in every library. This is the first ASEAN Virtual Regional Conference of Public Librarians with the theme ASEAN Libraries, Arts and Culture, Inspire, Innovate, and Collaborate. And to start with our opening ceremonies, we will now have the doxology and humatan, followed by the ASEAN anthem.
Let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God. Father in heaven, always merciful and giver of life, we humbly ask that you bless each one of us, from the speakers, program committees, guests, and participants. Guide us to make better decisions as we incorporate what we will learn throughout this event. Thank you for the infinite blessings and countless opportunities. Lord, today as we start our activity, may we always be grateful to learn new things. Shed the light of your wisdom and bless each one, especially our speakers, as they will share their knowledge to us. Through your mercy and grace, may peace and utmost understanding shine and dwell unto us. Almighty God, accompany each one and help us concentrate for us to gain more knowledge as we listen attentively. This we ask in your name. Amen.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, Ya Fa'alu lima yurid. We express our gratitude to you for allowing us to attend the launching ceremony of the first ASEAN Virtual Regional Conference of Public Librarians on this auspicious morning. Ya Allah, we ask you for the safety of our religion and the welfare of our body. O Allah,
Lord of the implementing authority, make the days that we have gone through, starting with your mercy, continue with your blessing, and ended with thy forgiveness. And also make the days that we have gone through with guidance and end with the victory of excellence. Ya Allah, Ya Muhaimin, Ya Aziz, Ya Jabbar, let our effort as a means to enlighten and convince ourselves that the personal safety of either outer or inner is a prerequisite for achieving happiness and excellence in various fields. O Allah, grant us faith and strength in order to face the challenges of life during the transition period and in the phase of life in this new millennium. Ya Allah, show us guidance and adjust our path and ways to achieve happiness and glory. Let us listen to people who like the good things. Let us avoid doing the bad and evil things. O Allah, bless our life in this meeting and gathering and prevent us from harms and unfortunate events. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
And to formally welcome us all in this event and deliver the opening remarks, I would like to call on the Director of the National Library of the Philippines, Mr. Cesar Gilbert Q. Adriano.
To our co-hosts and partners for this 3-day virtual conference, the ASEAN Public Libraries Information Network, or APLIN, with its president, Mr. Juan Mazil bin Juan Razali, the Philippine Librarians Association Incorporated, with its president, Ms. Emma M. Ray, the Librarians Association of Malaysia, with its president, Dr. Rashida Bulhassan, and the Asia Foundation, with its deputy country representative, Mr. Ethan Geary. To our esteemed guests, speakers, sponsors, and publishers, the different members of the committee involved in the preparation and conduct of this significant event, the local government officials, members of the library information science community, and to our local and foreign virtual delegates, it is my pleasure to welcome you all. Bearing the theme ASEAN Libraries, Arts and Culture, Inspire, Innovate, and Collaborate, the first ASEAN Virtual Regional Conference is one of the highlight events of the National Library of the Philippines for this year. This, of course, co-hosted by APLIN and in collaboration with Apply, LAM, and the Asia Foundation. It is a momentous milestone for the ASEAN public librarians and officer in charge. To this will serve as our first virtual avenue for now to forge partnership, collaboration, and networking with each other. This is definitely where we can greatly appreciate and learn from each other's practices pertaining to various stories, initiatives, and innovations inculcated in our libraries, as well as art and culture. For the information of everyone, this conference was initially planned to be conducted by a classroom setup or face-to-face conference last March 2020. However, with the incident of the Taal volcano eruption, it was rescheduled to be held last August 2020. But then again, the conference did not materialize due to the onset of COVID-19 pandemic, which is still rampant until the present time. Realizing that the pandemic will still be around, this did not stop the NLP for transitioning the face-to-face conference into a cloud-based or virtual conference. Pushing through with virtual conference is very timely and relevant as we will always have an opportunity to learn from each other's experiences, especially on the COVID-19 responses of different ASEAN libraries, which may be considered as our inspirations and blueprint as we move towards the future. I would like to extend this very early stage our utmost gratitude to the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, National Committee on Libraries and Information Services, or NCLIS, through the leadership of Chairman Arsenio Nick Lizazo and Professor Salvacion Arlante, respectively, and the Tourism Promotion Board, or TPB, through its Chief Operating Officer, Attorney Maria Antoinette Velasco Aliones, for accepting our invitation to be the major sponsor for this activity. For this 3-day virtual conference, I invite everyone to be active and engaged in the different virtual and talks that the committee has prepared for you. Let us also use this opportune time to address any queries and or clarifications you might have in mind pertaining to the topics that will be discussed by our speakers during our plenary and parallel sessions. Your moderators, like any other event of the NLP, are there to assist and guide you in your learning journey. With this, I won't keep you any longer. Welcome and congratulations to each and every one of us who has partaken in this momentous event, the first ASEAN Virtual Regional Conference of Public Librarians. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.
Thank you so much, Director Adriano. And now, to give us a message, let us have the Chairman of the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, Mr. Arsenio Nick Lizazo.
Director Cesar Gilbert Adriano of the National Library of the Philippines. Miss Emma Ray, President of the Philippine Librarians Association, Incorporated. Professor Salvacion Arlante, Head of the NCCA National Committee on Library and Information Service. Distinguished speakers, participants, good day to all of you. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. The world is shifting to the realm of the digital and the virtual. Almost everything can now be accessed and served in a flick of a finger. The virtual conference that is happening now is proof of this reality. There are even doubts about the potential position of libraries at this time. But you see, the hundreds of participants for today's ASEAN Virtual Regional Conference Public Librarians are testaments to the vitality of the library and librarianship as a whole, anchored on the theme ASEAN Libraries, Arts and Culture, Inspire, Innovate, and Collaborate. This conference is not only timely, but also meaningful. Not only is this an opportunity to discuss innovations in this sector, it is also an excellent platform to cultivate a sense of community among our public librarians in the ASEAN region. I voice a nationwide sentiment when I say that our workers in the libraries and information sector have diligently supported our citizens and will continue to do so after the pandemic is over. You all deserve the deepest gratitude of not only the Filipino people, but the whole ASEAN region. Thank you. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay po kayong lahat.
Thank you so much, Chairman Dizaso. Now to tell us more about the first ASEAN Virtual Regional Conference of Public Librarians, let us watch this promotional video. Wow, that was truly amazing. So it will be a 3-day pack conference. I know that all of you are excited. So at this point, allow me to introduce our keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker has an illustrious career in the library and information profession and is a very well-known librarian in Malaysia and the Southeast Asian region. She obtained a bachelor's in library studies from Mara University of Technology in Selangor, Malaysia, a master's in library science from Syracuse University in the United States of America, an executive master's in business administration from Ohio University, and a PhD in information systems from the Victoria Business School, Victoria University of Wellington in New Zealand. She has been involved in numerous projects, initiated various regional activities, organized conferences, presented numerous papers in different parts of the world, and received numerous awards in Malaysia, the most recent of which was the Chief Minister's Special Award, Sarawak Woman in Digital Era 2020. Apart from all these, her interests are in environmental concerns, biodiversity, and women's development, among others. She enjoys reading, swimming, walking, and the arts. Everyone, let us all welcome our keynote speaker, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Welfare, Community Well-being, Women, Family, and Childhood and Development, and the former CEO of Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, or the Sarawak State Library, Dr. Rashida Bolhasan.
Hello, everyone. I seem not to be able to open my video. Anyway, can the technical, okay. Hi, everyone. I hope everybody has had their lunch already. I'll trying to share my, okay. Now, it says you cannot start sharing your screen. Can the technical people share my?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am, you can share your screen now.
Can I share my screen? Okay. Continue. Okay. Right. Great. First of all, I would like to congratulate the National Library of the Philippines and the committee members for making today's conference the first ASEAN Virtual Regional Conference of Public Libraries a successful one. And to everyone, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm very honored and humbled by the invitation given to me. Now, I will still use the theme for the conference, inspire, innovate, collaborate. But I add in there, let's secure our own mask first, okay? Now, what does that mean? Now, there I am. That's me. If you want to connect with me, I have also put my email over there, and thank you to Professor Riyad for the kind words of introduction about myself. Well, now we cannot walk outside there much. I cannot go swimming because of the lockdown. Now, I'm sure you have, and most of us have got the opportunity to travel, and oops, supposed to go back. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Now, I'm sure you have listened to this in-flight announcement a lot of times when you fly. In the event of a decompression, an oxygen mask will automatically appear in front of you, and you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure a mask on first, and then you assist the other person. Now, I would like to relate this one to why I'm saying this, and you must be asking why that, okay? Now, I quote David Langs, and I'm sure a lot of you have read about his works. And to me, he's a very inspiring person in terms of library transformation. the value of the library is in the librarians. That's to all of you here who are attending this conference. You are the value, you are the most important asset in the organization. Now, a lot of us know what's happening to us for 1.5 years. We have had the impact of the pandemic on us. It have impacts on our resources, it have impacts on our library spaces, it have impacts of services, and more so on us, the staff who are working in the library. If I can use just one word to describe all these impacts, is just being disruptive. It disrupts a lot of things, a lot of ways, a lot of the normal things that we do in the library. Now, I will zoom in. Okay, I know you have all the papers that will be presented today. We'll talk about how you go about with the resources, how do you go about with space, new ways of doing things in the library physically, for example. And now I just want to focus on the staff. When I look at the papers, yes, there are some of the papers that address, but I would like to look into this in a helicopter view, because I thought as a keynote speaker, I'll give a very big view on what is going on around us. And then the other speakers who present the papers, we go into the sections and all the micro part of the things, yeah? Now, let's secure our own mask first. What do I mean by this? When I was preparing for this keynote, and I feel so overwhelmed because I was being made to understand there will be 1,000 registered participants in here. And I'm looking at other things which are going on. And as librarians, you search what's the latest, because anything down after, before 2020 or anything, even after the first half of the 2020 is almost obsolete. So I found there's this Microsoft Work Trend Index for 2021. The next great disruption is hybrid work. Are we ready? And I'm sure for the past 1.5 years, all of us have gone through the panic stage when we were first being told to go on lockdown. And then, and after that, we have to digress a bit and take a seat back and see what we need to do. And after 1.5 years, most of us have worked from home. Before 2020, that's something which is unheard of. I'm not sure about in the Philippines, but of course not in Malaysia. But since 2020 March, that seems to be the norm of the day. And until now, in actual fact, I am working from home because I am on home quarantine order because 4 of my colleagues were positive. So everything is from home. And now the other thing it says here that leaders are out of touch with employees.
Recording in progress.
Because from the study and also from the feedback that I received after studying about 30,000 employees across 30 over nations in the world, they find that leaders are out of touch with their employees because it's true, we can't meet at the water station or the pantry or having coffee on or having to say hi physically to each other as we used to be. And high productivity is masking an exhausted workforce. That is what the world is going through at the moment. And Gen Z is at risk and we need to be re-energized, the young people here. Shrinking networks are endangering innovation. Shrinking networks in terms of physical networks, in terms of physical availability on a daily basis, for example. But the networks are, my personal opinion is the network over on our internet and all that is not shrinking in actual fact. And the authenticity will spur productivity and well-being. That is the other thing that we have to look into, which was not really, well, we talk about staff welfare, but now more so than ever, we have to look into the well-being of our colleagues, of our task force, because we cannot draw the line between what's work, when especially when you are at home, what's work and what's not work at home, because everything seems to be work. And of course, there is another discovery that in a hybrid world, there is talent to be discovered everywhere. I must credit Karen Ferris for this in her blog. And she puts there as, are you ready to lead a hybrid team? So this is something that we have to look into, not just for us, but also for the people who we are serving. If these are the next trend of work in the way the world is going, if we are working for university, for example, we have to assist the university to look into the curriculum and to assist the university task force to look into looking at how can we assist the faculty members on towards all these trends. If we are in the public libraries, for example, and which most of us are here working in the public libraries, how are we preparing our users who are already out of the national education system, who are not in learning institutions anymore, reskilling them towards these new trends of work, okay? Oops. Now, this, I find this, although this was developed in 2020 by Dion Hinchcliffe, but I find it's still relevant here, because he is saying that the key aspects for employee experience in the next workforce. Okay, so much in line with our theme of our conference. Okay, you inspire, you innovate, and you collaborate. And this is what we are experiencing now. The situation we have at the moment is we are location free. We don't have to be in the office, but yet we are very connected. We have a control over our purpose, but sometimes not so much of control in terms of the border of where is work and home. And most important thing now, we really have to know how to have a work-life balance. And we have to be highly collaborative, transdisciplinary, and we can be anywhere and everywhere. Like today, I'm with you in the Philippines, and we have some other conference participants who are outside from this region as well. And when I look at the statistics, it's as far as coming from New Zealand as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, you might be saying, what has that got to do with the library? It has got a lot to do with the library, because we are preparing our people